Good afternoon, everybody. I just realized that my camera is not even looking at me. Oh, what on holy God's earth are we doing here? So, welcome to everybody to my Saturday afternoon live stream craziness. And to those that I spoke to in the chat, I want to welcome Sad Max Soulblats, the IBM Museum, and Trina so far, and Distro Hopper. Hello, welcome. Hopefully I have something kind of interesting for everybody. I have like I told everybody the other day, my last, well, I guess on Mac Yak, I put in the chat and that I was going to go down in my shed and root through the shed and see what I had interesting to bring. And hi George, if I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. I'm horrible at pronouncing names. So I went down to the shed Friday after I got off work, and I'm looking around, and I got a couple sawtooths. I've shown them before. They're not real exciting. I have a Quicksilver. I've done a whole video on that, which actually I'm going to, that's probably going to be one of the next, after I get the iMacs taken care of, it's probably going to be one of the next things I'm going to work on, because I've never actually owned a completely working Quicksilver, so this is that's like a super exciting thing for me. I have a G5 tower, but that's actually a computer that is to be used, so I don't want to do anything with it, and it's fully operational. Of course, I have a holy stack of Mac Pros, not very interesting to say the least. And I have a blue and white G3, but I need a video card for it before I can do anything. So, can I do a video how to install Leopard on a G4? I can do a video. I don't even own a copy of Leopard. I mean, I can get one. I don't particularly care for it, so I don't install it on anything. I can do it. Matter of fact, I could do it on the Quicksilver, because at the moment the Quicksilver is only running OS 9. I don't have any. I don't have a copy of OS 10 on it. Yeah, I'm kind of with Sad Mac. I'm not sure why you want to install Leopard on a G4. I prefer Tiger. All of my PowerPC Macs that are able to run it do run Tiger. I love Tiger. Tiger's like the most awesome operating system ever. I find Leopard to be kind of bloated. Leopard is the only actual copy of OS 10 that has both Intel and PowerPC code all mixed together. So it's a little sluggish on both platforms, to be honest with you. But it does work. I mean, it actually runs fairly well on a G4, on a higher end G4. So I mean, if you want to see it, I'll do it. You know. I just prefer Tiger. I think it runs a lot better, and especially on the G5 computers, the classic mode is a definite must-have for me. So, Jay's here. Welcome, Jay. Thank you for stopping in. So, but if you guys want to see me put Leopard on the G4, I'll do it. I'll get the Quicksilver out and we'll do it on that. I'll get a copy of Leopard somewhere, and what the hell, we'll install it. I can always erase it later and reinstall Tiger. So, you know, I'll do it. I'm crazy. I'll do anything you guys ask me to within reason. You know, just don't ask me to dance up and down or anything like that. So, but so anyway, as I was saying, I went down to the shed and I was looking through. I don't really have a huge computer collection like Steve and Greg. I unfortunately don't have a lot of space, so nor do I have a lot of money, so my collection's a little limited. But as I was down in the shed and I'm looking around and looking at my shelves, and it's like I got PCs down there, which are definitely not exciting. I mean, there's a couple Dells. I got a Dell PowerEdge server. I got a couple Optiplex. I do have a really cool digital Venturis that I do want to bring home and show. It's a early Pentium computer, but it's very interesting. So I found this lonely iMac G3 on the shelf that I totally forgot I even had, which is kind of weird because I specifically sought this computer out and I totally forgot I even owned it. So hi Mike, how you doing? Thanks for coming. So I actually got this computer from Steve Matarazzo, Mac 84. He really didn't want to part with it because this is an iMac that he actually does not own, and that's amazing because the kid owns like 100 freaking iMacs. I mean, his garage is full of iMacs. If you're an iMac G3 fan, you would just start drooling when you walk into his garage. He's just got stacks of iMacs everywhere. I mean, the things multiply, I swear to God. There's Steve. Hi, Steve. But he didn't really want to initially give this computer up because this is one that he doesn't have. But I don't personally care for the G3 iMac a lot. I'm not a collector of this particular computer. But there are two of them that I will definitely buy if they come available. And I don't want them for their speed. I don't want them for their features. I simply want them for their looks. And this is one of them. And I'm being kind of secretive because this is actually one of the more sought after iMacs in the color lineup. And because Steve is so gracious to I have no idea why it zoomed out when I changed the screen. Oh my lord, this software is so insane sometimes. So yes, Steve rescued this computer when he went to the big e-waste facility over the summer, and it's not in the greatest physical condition, and we don't even know if it works, honestly. It hasn't been plugged in. I haven't even tested it yet. So this could go any way. The only thing I do know for sure is, one, there is memory in it. Okay? I don't know how much. I didn't pull it out. But there is memory in it. Two, there is no hard drive in it. Steve had to remove the hard drives from all the iMacs before he was allowed to take any of them. So I know for a fact there is no hard drive. However, I was intelligent enough to grab a 30 gigabyte hard drive. Now, this hard drive actually came from my G4 Sawtooth. At least that's what it says. It says G4 GBE, which should be gigabit Ethernet. And it says 10.3. So I'm going to go on a limb and say that this drive has 10.3 on it. And I know this drive works. I simply pulled it out of my Sawtooth because I put a SCSI drive in the computer. So, And yeah, as Steve said, I mean these iMac, I mean he literally dug through a shrink wrap pallet for these things. So I can't remember exactly how many he got. I think it was somewhere around 10 or 12. And this was the only one of this color. I mean, the single only one. And it's, like I said, it's not in the best shape. But beggars can't be choosers. So, yeah, Trina, he didn't want to give it up, but he did because he knows that I'm not a real big iMac collector, and I don't really get excited over iMac G3s in general. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my HD camera here and move it so, you know, this is going to look like a Groody video for a couple seconds. And I apologize. You guys can look at my ugly face. And there's Lucifer over there sleeping calmly. Simon's over there sleeping on his cat tree. The 20-inch iMac is sleeping gently on the floor. And you can see that my house is an absolute freaking disaster. So, well, Trina, now, I'll tell you right now, Steve didn't give me this computer. I bought this computer. So, he bought it and then I reimbursed him. So, he didn't make any money on it. But, here we go. We have one iMac G3 in the color of Ruby. And this is one of two iMacs that I've actually lusted after this computer since I've seen them announced in 2001 or 2000. The only other one that I would like to have is the Flower Power, and only because it is just so crazy looking. But the problem is people want stupid, ridiculous money for those. So let's do a quick. We're going to do a quick overview here. So now you see the plastic is all screwed up here. There's a crack here. All the plastic back here is cracked up, and it's actually rattling. It's actually starting to come apart here. And we look at the side, you can see this bezel is separating. But the red plastic, aside from being scuffed and having some marks, is actually in really, really good shape. The handle is still intact. The apple's still here. And then over here on this side, same thing. The red is actually in really good shape. It's just got some scuff marks, which I think I might be able to get out with my buffer. The white plastic on the bottom is actually in pretty good shape too. And same thing, I could probably get some of these marks and scuffs out with my buffer. This clear bezel, this translucent bezel on the front is actually not too bad, except for this crack over here. So I might try to get a new bezel, but the red apple on the top is still there. So the computer is complete. And then we can go on the bottom here, and we see the access door for the memory is here, and it's the correct color. The foot is still here in a good shape. It's not coming off. And we can take a look here, and we see that we can focus. Well, you can't read it, but this is a 450 megahertz G3, so it's not exactly the fastest thing in the world. So we're going to attempt to find a tripod. I found the other... Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness. Yes, the serial number is... Romeo, November 030898 Juliet, Victor 3. If Jay is paying attention and really cares. So, whoops, I'm going to try to set this up with my little mini tripod. So, now you guys can see me too. So, yeah, Steve does the good work. He saved, I'm going to say he probably saved at least 50 Macs from being scrap metal. He, along with iMacs, he also, the cube that I did the live stream on also came from that same recycling center. He was able to save, I believe, 3 of those, if not 4. As well as a whole bunch. As a matter of fact, the Classic 2 that I just did the full length video on also came from the recycling center. So, yeah, Steve spent a lot of money. So he and just so everybody knows that Steve doesn't give me this stuff. I actually buy it from him. So he gives me really good deals. So Steve helps me out a lot in terms of these classic Macintoshes. So but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look under the access door here, which is unlocked. And since we got to take the bottom off anyway, might as well take a peek at the memory. And we got a... I have no idea. I'm going to say it's probably a 64 meg DIMM. And I do have some PC100 floating around here. I might be able to throw a couple extra sticks in it. Some bigger sticks. And we have a 128 meg DIMM. So it looks like we might have 192 megs of memory in this. So the RF shielding inside the door is actually still in pretty good shape, even if it is just starting to disintegrate now. Or that just might be dust. Yep, that's just dust. So, I guess what we can do, before we get too crazy, let's see what memory I got floating here at the house. We're looking for PC100. See, we've got a 64. There's another 128. And one I can't identify. Alright, well. This is ultimately going to be an OS 9 only machine when I'm done with it. Or probably actually OS 8.6. I have no intentions of running 10 on here. I might install an early version of 10 only to play with it, simply for the fact that I never really played with earlier versions of OS 10. So now something that some people don't know, these DV model iMacs have this access port cover here. And actually, sometimes it's hard to find the computer with this cover on it. If they've been used in any situation where this was required to be removed, then they don't. They end up getting lost or broken. So, and this one here is in really good shape. So we're definitely going to keep it that way. Hi, Christian. How are you? I'm glad you're here. So, shameless, not self-promotion. The gentleman known as Fogwraith in the chat is Christian Bergman. He owns Macintosh Garden. If you're not getting your software from Macintosh Garden, you're getting it from the wrong place. So everybody needs to go to macintoshgarden.org right now and download all of the software that you could possibly need. He is probably that man is probably single-handedly one of the most important members of the Apple community. Archiving all kinds of old classic software for us to download. So, yep, sorry Christian, I outed you, dude. So, we've had him on Mac Yak. Very nice man. He does a lot of good for the community in general. So, but anyway, as I was saying, this cover that I took off actually is covering a VGA port. Yeah, they actually do make, as Steve said, there was, I don't know if it was an Apple or if it was an Apple, there is actually a cover to go on here to replace the blank to use the VGA port, but I've never seen one. I know Steve has one. I still haven't seen it. God only knows where it is. You know, it's probably on one of his iMacs, honestly. So, we're going to do this in classic EEV blog style, except we're going to do it ass backwards. We're going to turn it on before we take it apart, because I'm kind of curious to see if this thing even works. I'm laying bets it probably does. And I know there's a hole here somewhere for a power cord. Oh, there it is. There we go. So, and I don't have my iMac keyboard. I do have an iMac keyboard somewhere. I'm not sure where. Oh, oops, it's on this side. I mean, it's just your typical USB keyboard, except it has a button on it for the power. So, I don't know. Let's see if anything blows up. What say you? Yeah, Jay, but my FireWire 400 to 800 cable is borked. Whoa, hot damn. Got a chime. Now, I know it won't boot. We know that for a fact, because there is no hard drive. But, there's a lot of butt flying around. Well, shit. Ah, here we go. Oh, I think there's a CD in the drive. Which actually might be unplugged. That might have come unplugged. The CD drive might have come unplugged when Steve took the hard drive out. because it's not doing anything. So, alright. Hey, it turned on. Right? Isn't that half the battle? And that's what I see. The screen's a little dim, but it's possible the brightness settings is just turned down. So, cool. So what we'll do is we'll turn it off. This might be a very anticlimactic stream. It might just be a matter of installing a hard drive, which truthfully is not exactly an easy chore on an iMac. And getting it set up. Yes, my table's wobbly. Guys, you have to remember I don't make any money from these streams, so you know, I gotta make do with what I got. So, all right, let's see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a while since I took an iMac apart. Last I remember, these weren't too terrible to actually work on, at least in terms of like the hard drive and whatnot. Steve, I actually have a cable if it doesn't have one. At least I did have a cable. Let me put it that way. And I actually also have another DVD-ROM drive here. Can you? Well, take a look-see. I have a couple of drives here. Well, at this point, I might as well just take the whole bottom off. Whoops. And here we can see all the broken plastics inside this thing. Which I totally expected. I'd actually be surprised if there wasn't. Yeah, Steve, my FireWire 400 to 800 cable is NFG at the moment. I need to order a new one. I do see a Molex power connector floating around here. So, I don't know if that's for the hard drive. Knock on wood, Steve did actually put all the screws back in. So, thank you for that. Yes, I do have a Patreon page. If anybody's interested in giving me a hand to buy some more old stuff to work on. I'm always grateful. All of my content is still free. I just I give patrons some extra options every month to make some decisions, help me out, and they get early access to any of my normal videos. So, well, the cable's in it. Oh, that's right. I forgot these drives get their power from the IDE bus. I forgot that. So, let's see if I can remember how to do this. This thing's actually pretty clean inside. Looks like it has an upgraded battery in it. Somebody replaced the battery. I wonder if this is any good. Oh, let's take a look. And that's a negative. That's a dead solder. So we're going to remove that. Alright, so question number 1. Can Mike remember how to take the drive bay out? Oh. By the way, these magnets are freaking awesome. Just don't get them around your hard drives. Thought there was 4 screws. Yeah, Trina, she's just taking a cat nap. Alright, there we go. So what do we got here? We have a... I have no idea. What the hell? Ah. There's actually 2 discs in the drive. Can't really see it. Oh my lord. How in the hell did they manage that? Oh, this is going to call for... Well, first off, I'm going to totally 86 that drive, because I'm sure that drive's not going to be any good anymore. So anybody who's ever working on an Imac G3, this cable is an absolute necessity. It's a special. It's an IDE cable, but the DVD drive gets power from the logic board. So it's an absolute necessity if you're working on one of these. Because without it, you'll never be able to hook up the hard drive or the DVD-ROM drive. Yeah, I don't understand why they do this kind of stuff either. I mean, I kind of understand why they did in this instance, because it's you know, such a small package. But in general, yeah, I don't understand why computer companies have this obsession with proprietary cables either. There we go. Okay. So we have performed the studry on that. And I don't know what kind of drive this is. It doesn't actually say. It just says manufactured to Apple specifications. So now this one here is actually a 4x speed DVD ROM drive. So this might be an upgrade indirectly. So and I know this drive works. I pulled it out of a absolutely destroyed but working iMac. So, and I know that this does not have 2 discs shoved into the drive. Ooh, pizza actually kind of sounds good. Damn it, now you're going to make me hungry for pizza. Well, I tell you, anytime you use a slimline DVD or CD drive, optical drive like this, you're going to have a special cable for it, I can guarantee you. So I mean, this is essentially a laptop DVD drive, and they basically just tacked a standard IDE interface on the back of it, more or less. So they were trying. I think in general they were kind of trying to make it serviceable, but trying to save space at the same time. Oh, so we have one Quantum Apple logoed. I think this is a 30 gig drive. Yeah, 30 gig. More than enough for this computer. And of course we have no screws for this drive, so we're going to have to get that screw box and see if we can locate a few. Yeah, you guys are going to make me hungry for pizza, and then I'm going to have to kick your asses. I got up really, really late today. I haven't eaten anything.
I don't know. I couldn't sleep last night, so this is the problem with giving me a day off of work. Is if you don't require me to be up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, I am definitely not getting up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Guaranteed. Well, oh, here's a fourth one. And it's actually funny because I was actually thinking about ordering something from my favorite restaurant, pizza shop down the road here, Zittarelli's. I don't usually get a pizza though because it's just me. I don't really have you know. I find it difficult to order a pizza for myself. So what I might do is I might get a pizza burger sub. Which, if anybody's ever in the Harrisburg area, gotta try Zittarelli's Pizza and Subs. Their freaking food is awesome. Oh my god. Yes, Lucy. Everybody hears you. You don't need to narrate. Well, a pizza burger sub it's a sub, obviously. They take 3 hamburger patties, they cut them in half, put extra provolone cheese inside, put them back together, and then they throw them on the grill and grill them. They put provolone cheese on the sub, or mozzarella cheese on the sub, depending on how you like. I like provolone, but they do it either way. And then basically just put pizza sauce on it. That's it. So alright, so there's our hard drive and DVD-ROM drive. And I find a DVD-ROM is actually a lot more useful in these than just a CD. Now the trick is, can we get the damn thing back in here? There we go. These computers are not difficult to work on, but they are kind of fiddly. Yeah, we have some rather interesting, to say the least. We have a lot of interesting creations in our restaurants in Pennsylvania. But yeah, I love our local pizza shop. They deliver. They're cheap, and you get a good bit of food for what you buy. I mean, I spend less than $20 with delivery, and I can usually eat it for 2 days. Yeah, pretty much. That's the one thing that does kind of suck about Pennsylvania is they can't deliver beer. They do sell beer at the pizza shop here in town, but they're not allowed by law to deliver it. So, which is okay because a 6-pack of beer there is $11, which is kind of ridiculous if you ask me. So, if I need a beer that bad, I can go down to the beer distributor right down the street. I can buy a 6-pack of Yingling for like $8. Okay. So, take a quick squeeze in here. So we got the hard drive, CD-ROM drive, or DVD-ROM drive in this case, here. Power. This is the logic board. Goes from all the way down here, up around. This is all the logic board. It's a very, very small, compact logic board for the power that it has. This is the analog power supply board. Well, this is actually the power supply board. The analog board is actually on the opposite side here. And this is the actual analog board for the CRT. So this is the side that you don't want to play with. These are actually very safe computers to work on because the high voltage and the computer side are totally isolated from each other. So in general, these are very, very safe to work on if you're inexperienced. So, you see all the control chips. This is a Northbridge chip. I think this is just a voltage regulator here. The PowerPC G3 chip is actually on the opposite side of the board. So, and of course we have 2 speakers here, which are almost guaranteed to be totally disintegrated. If they're not, I'd be amazed. These are, I believe, the Hard & Cardin designed ones. Here is a connection. We put what they call the airport card goes in here, and the airport card on this card actually goes on an adapter. It looks like a little credit card sort of thing. You put the airport card in, and you put the whole thing in, and then this is the aerial for the airport card. So, and then of course you got your 2 DIMM slots. I think this computer can handle 1 gig of memory. So, it does use PC 100 RAM, which is kind of typical for this time period. And I'm sitting here explaining everything to everybody, and I'm forgetting to plug this connector into the logic board. Alright, there we go. Now it's plugged in. So, and the CUDA reset button is right here. It is accessible through the access panel on the bottom, but you need something kind of long to point to get to it. So, let me take a look at the chat here. I've been slacking. Oh. Oh yes, Molex. The large Molex power plugs are absolutely annoying. I do not understand why these were a thing for as long as they were. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here, Lucifer. Hi, Lucifer. Hi, baby. Oh, come here. This is Lucifer. She's the one that's been narrating this entire stream so far. She is a little sweetie most of the time, but she can be very, very evil. What does the reset button... Okay, the CUDA reset button is basically the same thing as a SMC reset on a more modern machine. The CUDA chip was basically like a power manager memory sort of chip. Steve can actually explain it better than I can. But it stores a lot of it stores some information, and if your computer starts acting kind of funny, then usually hitting that button to reset it will alleviate most of your problems. Hi, Sean. Thanks for stopping. Hi, Hot Rod. Hi. Yeah, I don't like puck mice. I gave all my puck mice to Jay. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody's checking you out, little girl. Believe it or not, this cat is 4 years old, and she is tiny. She is so tiny. She is the littlest cat in the house. She is just microscopic. Mwah. Alright, go away. I got iMacs to play with. Although everybody seems to love your kitties. Yeah, you're right. The C13 power cord still used to this day. All over the world, too. Unlike some things, that's an international thing. So, my curiosity is going to get the best of me here. So, where are my pliers? Oh, hi Lydia. Hi, Petey girl. Aha. All right. Let's see. What's in here? Well, we have Metallica. Looks like it belonged to Craig Cummins at Camp Mackinac in Lenox, Massachusetts. So that was the first disc that was in the drive. The second disc is D-Band, which isn't surprising. this is a program to DoD wipe hard drives. A lot of recycling centers use them. It's like a Linux-based program, so it works on just about any platform. So there you go. That was the yeah. Oh. Actually, this shirt is made by Steve from Mac 84, and he sells them on, I want to say Teespring. If he comes back on, I'll ask him about putting a link in the chat for everybody. So they make these in shirts from extra small all the way up to, I think, 3XL. So yeah, D-Band will totally toast anything connected to the computer. It doesn't matter what it is. So we actually found in a lot of the computers that we picked up, Steve and I found a lot of these discs in the computers he picked up from that particular recycling center. So they might have them in that size. I don't know exactly what sizes they go up to, so the only thing I could suggest is take a look at their site. So and they do a lot of custom stuff. So we're not putting a battery back in for obvious reasons, and looking at the caps and everything on this computer, everything looks pretty solid. These computers are susceptible to capacitor leakage, so it's definitely something you want to be aware of. They don't seem to suffer from it nearly as bad as the classic machines do, but they do suffer from it. And now we gotta try to put this fiddly ass RF shield back in. While probably not necessary for the operation of the computer, I probably should put it in. Because this is a fanless computer, so getting this thing to line up with the VGA connector at the top is a fiddly process. There we go. Contact! Cat leakage. God, I hope we don't have any cat leakage. Well, this was probably one of the most expensive t-shirts I've ever bought. I think this t-shirt cost me about $40. Because I was the very first... Steve sent me a link, and he asked me what I thought. So I liked it. I immediately bought one. I paid for express shipping. And he didn't have any of his coupons or any. He has coupon codes and everything for people that he can give out to give them a bit of a discount. So he didn't have any of that set up when I initially bought the shirt because he didn't even think I was going to buy it, that fast. So this was actually one of the very first ones that rolled off the assembly line. I actually have two of them. I don't typically buy new shirts or anything, but when I do, you know, I like to help. I like to help support people. So, and if anybody buys a shirt from Steve, it does help support him and his channel. So, and this screw is going to piss me off right quick. Alright, there we go. One RF shield. So, if anybody is ever working on one of these, this little thingy here is supposed to stick up like this. This is so that you can grab the airport aerial to plug it into the airport card. This is supposed to be a user installable option here. That's why it's located there. So I know on some of the earlier iMacs it wasn't. I think it was buried in here somewhere. But on these later models, it's actually considered a English speak user installable option. So and unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, it's not a very common option. I mean, I've seen a few of them over the years, but not too often. So, the Wi-Fi on these computers is pretty useless at this point in time. But it's only a Wi-Fi B, which is only 11 megabits per second. So, when the onboard Ethernet is 10/100. Oh, sorry to hear that. Oops. That sucks whenever you go through all that and then you run into this problem where Final Cut Pro or whatever program you want to use wants to be stupid and doesn't want to render the video or errors out. Oh my god, I hate that. I did a couple of videos that had issues like that. So I know exactly what you're going through. And I'd like to see a video on the 65SX. I've never actually, it's one of those machines I never actually had the opportunity to mess with back in the day. 60s and 80s, yes. Never a 65SX though. Alright, so it's all back together. We're going to lock, we're going to lock the access compartment. Oh, okay. I thought you were having issues with like your video editing software or something. I did an entire video at one point in time on Windows Phone and doing comparisons between Windows Phone and the newer version of iOS that came out earlier this year. And I got all my phones out, charged them up, showing things around. Did the video, it came out to like 40, I think it was like 42 minutes long. And then Final Cut Pro decided it didn't want to render it. It kept giving me errors, and I sat there for hours and hours trying to find the problem and never did. And I eventually gave up because, you know, it wasn't that an important video. So, if anybody ever wants to see anything about Windows phones, let me know. I have all generations of Windows phones because I used Windows phones up until I got an iPhone. Alright. Who thinks we should hook the Ethernet up? I know you don't, Jay. Windows phones were actually kind of cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, OBS likes to screw things up too. Whoops. And I'm trying to plug a keyboard into a FireWire port. Yeah. Yeah, this is true. With OBS, you do get what you pay for. So, which in case nobody knows, OBS is free software. And it's actually what I'm using to stream this stream with right now. OBS is what's connecting to YouTube to stream everything here. It's not horrible software, but like Jay says, you do get what you pay for. All right, so yeah, except for the fact that Jay's not going to tell you that Mac Yak did use OBS up until like 2 weeks ago. So this is a, if I remember right, it's a 400 G3. Holy shit, it's going to boot. It's going to boot OS 10. It's probably going to boot OS 10 very, very slowly. Holy shit. Well, damn. Oh, I can hear that hard drive banging away in there. Sean, we use Wirecast now. I'd be okay with it being Tiger, but I don't think Tiger can run on a G3. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is taking forever to come up. And this poor hard drive is just beating the crap out of itself right now. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, we got 1039 with 256 megs of memory. Oh, my gosh. So we got a 450 megahertz PowerPC G750 or G3. Two 128 meg DIMMs of RAM. ATI Rage Pro 128 with 8 megabytes of memory. A Quantum Fireball 30 gigabyte hard drive. It apparently has a whole bunch of stuff on it. Wow. USB, we have, of course, keyboard, mouse. Firewire just says there's up to 400 megs a second. There's nothing plugged in. And it's going to say no airport card. And it should have a modem in it. 56K modem. Yep. So 56K modem. Go down here to network. And here we have an IP address on the network. And it's connected to Comcast. So let's go into system preferences. I think it wasn't a 30 gigabyte hard drive, but it was only, I believe, 64 megs of memory. It might have only been a 20 gig hard drive. Let's see here. We'll load up Mac Tracker. Hi, Luce. Go to iMac. Alright, so this computer was introduced in July of 2000, discontinued in February 2001. They came in Indigo, Ruby, Sage, Graphite, and Snow. They had either a 350, 400, 450, or 500 megahertz G3 processor. So this one has a 450. It looks like it came with a 7, 10, 20, or 30 gig drive. And either a slot loading 24x CD-ROM or a 4x DVD-ROM. So I'm willing to bet that the drive that I took out was probably a CD-ROM drive, not a DVD-ROM drive. It doesn't say how much memory they were configured with, though. It handles a max of 1 gig. 10100 Ethernet, 2 USB 1.1 ports, 2 FireWire 400. It shipped with 64 megs of RAM and a 56K modem. So yeah, it would have had 64 megs of memory. So and this is the iMac DV Plus Summer 2000 model. Oh, that sucks. That's one of the things I do want to get. I want to get an iBook G3 clamshell. I've never owned one. I think they are the coolest looking machines. I'd actually rather have one of those than a colored iMac. Oh, it says an ATI display control panel. That's weird. This may have been for the computer it was pulled out of. This hard drive came out of my Sawtooth Gigabit Ethernet model. So, let's see what's on the hard drive. I'm curious. It looks like it actually has a system folder on it, maybe for OS 9. There's iPhoto. Let's look at the applications folder here. Oh wow, we got Photoshop 7. AOL Instant Messenger. Firefox. Yeah, I wonder if Firefox still works. Alright, take care, bud. Thanks. So it looks like this copy of Firefox was installed in 2008. The graphics is a ATI Rage 128 with 8 megabytes of memory, Mike. Wow, this poor hard drive is just beating itself to death. Oh my goodness. So this is Firefox version 2.0.0.20. Copyright 1998 to 2008. Oh my goodness, this is an old version of Firefox. I think they're up to like version like 20 something now. That's cool. Hey, take care, Sean. Thanks for stopping. Oh, what else we got here? This typical iLife stuff: iMovie, GarageBand, iPhoto, iTunes, Microsoft Office 10. X converters, GIF builder. That's kind of different. It's really not too hard. If you actually go back through the live stream, you'll see it's actually pretty easy to replace the hard drive. I mean, I did it in 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. I was taking my time. I wasn't rushing. It's actually pretty easy. It's not... These later models are actually real easy to work on in terms of like the hard drive and stuff. Startup disk. Hey, OS 922. Let's see if it'll boot. I might not even have to worry about installing anything on here. Uh, 10.3. Jaguar, I believe. Hey, a Happy Mac. We like Happy Macs. You know what? I don't know how. I'm not exactly sure how the speakers sound. As soon as it boots into the Finder here, I'll unplug the external speaker. And wow, that's funky. Oh, Panther, thank you. I'll unplug the speaker here, and we'll take a listen. The speakers are probably shot. Holy Christ. They must have done a lot of OS 9 stuff here. Unsupported. Wow, they really got a lot of OS 9 stuff here. Alright, let's see if we can... Oh, wow. Okay. 95 hertz. There we go. Sound Studio. Well, let's see here. Well, let's pull that. Go into the sound control panel. Crank this sucker all the way up. Oh yeah, speakers are shot. They are totally borked. Whoops. Whoops. I actually want to keep that up and turn this down. There we go. What's been all that Metallica? Oh my gosh. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're not supposed to sound like that. Can you get an eep, please? How was that, Jay? Is that good enough? There's your eep, everybody. I give people real eeps. So anybody that wants an eep,
Eep, eep, eep, eep, eep.
we can eep all night. Yeah, I know you can fix the speakers. I'm not terribly worried about it. I have so many different sets of speakers here that it's not even funny. I actually have some pretty high-end ones. I got some, well, they're just about all Altec Lansing, because they're one of the only ones that I ever buy. I have an older set of Altec Lansings, which actually go really well with the older iMacs. They're not, they're about the same vintage. They don't look like them. They're beige, but they actually go pretty decent with these. I have another set of Altec Lansings in the closet that are like surround sound speakers that work really well. I have Lucy, knock it off, you little shit. I actually have a set of creative speakers. They're kind of hard to see. They're about a quarter up behind my monitor. But I have some Creative Lab speakers on here that I really like because they kind of match the aesthetic of the Mac Pro with the way they look. So that's cool. So we can boot into either or. So now I'm curious. Yeah, I'm totally amazed that it's all working like perfectly. Let's go back into OS 10 once. Hopefully the sound coming through the stream through my capture device isn't too obnoxious. This computer really isn't all that slow either, surprisingly. Now, I can't put the Metallica CD in. I'll definitely get a copyright strike for that. Oh my god, those guys are insane. There it is. Just boot it up. You know, this computer really isn't. It's not slow. It's actually not bad. I mean, it's. I'm actually quite impressed. It's pretty perky. Hey! There we go. Yeah, I'll probably play around with it a little bit and fart around. I'm probably going to keep OS 10 on here because it's not running bad. Although I primarily want to play with it on OS 9, but I will probably keep the OS 10 on here simply so I can connect to like right now I'm connected to my Mac Pro over the network. It really does make it much easier. What? Well, that sucks. Well, I'll probably go through and reinstall macOS on it.
Eep, eep.
There's your eep, everybody. Or how about a good moof? Oh, that's right. I have all this stuff on here, or at least some of it. I have all this stuff. I have all this stuff here under this OS 9 hard drive folder. This is actually not all of it, but I think it's a good bit of what I used to run on my Power Mac 8550 workgroup server. And this here, I think, was my Powerbook G4 backup. So yeah, I actually got some stuff on this drive here I can actually copy over then. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a disk for OS 10, and I'm gonna totally start fresh because this hard drive only has 10 gigabytes free on it. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably end up partitioning it into like two 15 gigabyte drives, or maybe a 10 and a 15. Install OS 9 on one end and OS 10 on another. I am curious. Who wants to do something totally off the wall and insane with me here that we're probably going to regret? Should I? Should I try? Just for shits and giggles? Trina says just do it. Well, god damn it, we're gonna do it then. Alright, fine. Screw you then. You can't boot from USB on a G series computer. Well, I shouldn't say you can't. You can, but it's such a pain in the ass because you got to go into open firmware and everything else to do it, and yeah, not really a happening thing. Although ironically, this is something strange that developed the other day. Steve was streaming something on. We were all Skyping together the other night. I was in the bedroom, and I was going to boot up my iMac G3, which if you don't follow my Facebook page, you ought to follow my Facebook page because I do post some stuff on there that's kind of interesting. Not to mention you get all the notifications for streaming and everything else. But so I set up my iMac G3 prototype in my bedroom. Since I live alone now, I can do that stuff. And it's plugged in and everything. So I went to boot it up the other day and it wouldn't boot. It just froze. It would chime and that was it. So I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I started panicking because I've never had an issue with the computer booting. And then I thought about it, and I have several of these little blue USB stick things. I probably have like 4 or 5 of these things, but I only have one 32 gig one, and this is the one that's specifically formatted for Macs. And I use it to transfer files back and forth between computers, backup, whatever. Well, I forgot. I put something on this stick, and I had it in the iMac the other day. Well, the iMac won't boot with this thing installed. So Jay and I started wondering if it is actually possible to natively boot that particular computer off of a USB stick. Because somebody suggested to me about installing OS X on a compact flash card and trying it. I'm just going to erase and install because, well, first thing I'm going to do is go into disk utility. Yes, Mike. It was Mike that suggested I try installing OS 10 on a compact flash card. And I do intend to do that. I don't even know if it'll... First of all, I don't know if it'll install onto a compact flash card. The thing with the compact flash reader on that particular iMac is the fact that it's connected to the USB bus. So I don't know if it's going to... I don't know if it's even going to work. But I'm willing to try anything once. So that's probably going to be the subject of another live stream, or maybe just a full-blown video. I'm not sure yet. And for anybody who hasn't been paying attention to Mac Yak, we're going to do the... I think we're calling it the Classic Mac Challenge this year. So... and I'm actually thinking about actually doing it and using my G5 iMac, because that thing is no slouch in any way, shape, or form, and it's an awesome machine to use. The fact that I have it upgraded to the hilt is helping. The 68K and Power PC Challenge. That's what we're calling it this year. So, and everybody might think it might be, cheaty, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to use the most powerful machine I have. Jay put a link in the chat here. Try it out. If you have a old computer, give it a try. See what limits we can push with these things, because people say that they're useless. They're not useless. I mean, by today's standards and by modern internet standards and everything, yeah, they're kind of useless, but they're not, they're not totally useless. Yeah, okay, you're not going to be watching this live stream on your freaking Quadra 700. I can tell you that for a fact. And you're not going to be doing Facebook on a Macintosh Classic 2. But it's interesting to see if you can go a week without actually using your high-end computer. Now, I mean, in a lot of ways, if you think about it, I mean, a lot of us are using vintage technology every day. I mean, I use this computer here is a kind of hard to see, but this is a 2009 Mac Pro. It's a single processor, not dual, just a single. 3.06 gigahertz. It is a 6-core. It's 64. I do have 64 gigs of RAM. I mean, I've got it upgraded pretty good, but it's still it's an 11-year-old computer. I have a pair of 2006 Mac Pros at work. One is a 1,1 and the other one is a 2,1. One has two dual-core 2.66 gigahertz processors. One has two quad-core 2.66 gigahertz processors. They both run El Capitan. They do exactly what we need them to. So, and I wouldn't give this computer up for the world. I love this thing. It's been great. I bought this. Matter of fact, I bought this computer from Jay. If anybody ever doubts any of Jay's repair skills, he found this thing sitting, if I remember the story, He found this thing sitting outside in the rain in a dump somewhere or something, and he was actually able to salvage. He had to do some repairs on the main logic board, and got it working again. And he sold it to me. I paid $100 for the computer, but now I paid $100 for basically a stripped out shell. It had a processor, and I think it had a little bit of memory in it, and that's it. No hard drives, no video card, no nothing. So it was enough to get me started, and then I was able to transfer parts out of my 1,1 that I was using. I used to do all my video editing on a 1,1 Mac Pro under LCAP, and I transferred my SSDs. I had a Radeon 5770 at the time. As a matter of fact, I still use that 5770 at work. Great card. Very, very great card. And I've just been upgrading this machine slowly. So, yeah, Trader, you can start whenever you want. You can do more than a week. You can do it a week early if you want. Yeah, Jay spent a lot of time on this computer. He gave me a hell of a deal on it, too. With all the time that he told me he put into this computer, I can't believe he sold it to me as cheap as he did. So, and I've had it for, I'm going to say, probably 2 years now. And, I mean, it's not the prettiest looking computer in the world. I told, Jay was going to go through, he was going to polish all the, it's got all kinds of spots and everything on the case. I told him, I said, look, dude, I don't care about any of that. It's not bent up or destroyed. It's just all marked up. It's, stained. You could go through with a buffer and probably clean it up real good, but I don't care about that. I prefer function over form. And it's my daily computer. And I've upgraded the crap out of it. It's got an RX 580 8 gig video card in it, 64 gigs of RAM. It's got dual 500 gig SSDs. It's got a 2 terabyte hard drive. Of course, it's got USB. I have USB 3 on it now. So, and yeah, it's been an awesome computer. I can't complain at all. Well, Jay, you better shave then. The only complaint I have with this particular computer is the fact that the Bluetooth sucks. And the Bluetooth in this actually worked pretty good up until the time that I put the USB 3 card in, and then it started flaking out on me. So it's a minor inconvenience. So, but I mean, these Mac Pros are still great machines. I mean, yeah, they're not going to hold a candle to a brand new Mac Pro with a 32 core W Series Z on it, but they hold their own today. I mean, I do everything on this thing. I mean, I run Final Cut Pro on it. I'm streaming all of this on it right now. I mean, I'm only using, to do this stream right now, with a video capture card and a high definition camera at 60 frames a second. I'm only using about 25 to 30% of CPU resources. So, and yeah, Jay has a point. Putting the Bluetooth aerial is in the back of the computer. It's in a dumb spot. The aerial's in the back of the computer where the cards are, right alongside the external card openings. for the interface, for the access plates for the interface cards. So you got your video card, and I've got a USB card and everything back there, right there next to that Bluetooth aerial. So, and yeah, that is the dumbest spot for this stupid thing. I should actually take the aerial out and relocate it somewhere. Or just do like most guys do and just get an external. I'd like to get an external aerial for it. Because I do like using Bluetooth. Mainly for I have headphones I like to use Bluetooth on. So I think Jay went to go shave. Yeah. Yeah, this actually is going fairly smooth. I can tell you right now, this is going a lot more smoothly than when I was trying to install OS 10.11 on my MacBook Pro last night. I think it took me about 3.5, 4 hours to install that. I had to actually wipe the hard drive, get out my Snow Leopard DVD, install Snow Leopard, and then I had to get the USB stick with LCAP on it and then install that. Yeah, I miss the intro videos. Those were always really cool. I saw the Snow Leopard one last night for the first time in a couple of years. Because I haven't used Snow Leopard on anything in a long time. I'd like to get an older MacBook Pro, like a first-gen MacBook Pro or something, just to have something to run Snow Leopard on, because it's such an awesome operating system. Yeah, Mike, I did actually get a really good deal on this machine. I'm so amazed that it's like working perfectly. I mean, with the condition of the way the case and everything was, I was suspect that it even worked, and I mean, it works perfectly. Now, eventually, I'm going to go through and I'm going to completely restore all the plastic. I want to try to find an iMac that is in good shape but maybe doesn't work, and scarf plastics off of it to replace the internal bezel and probably this outside bezel, because this plastic bezel here is the same for all iMacs of this vintage. The only thing that's different is the Apple logo on the top, which can be popped out. So, you know, all these external plastics, these white translucent plastics, are all the same for all the models. It's just the trim, the speaker grills, the DVD slot, and the Apple up top are the only differences. So it's the red plastic that's unique. And I always like these because I don't know how well you can. Oh yeah, you can see it. It's translucent. And I love the way that the red looks with the translucent plastic. You know, I just think it's like the coolest freaking thing ever. Yeah, Soul Blast. That's the same. I'm actually having that same problem. So I have I have a 17-inch MacBook Pro, a 2009 model, and it works perfect. It's just this thing runs so bloomin' hot that I can't keep it under like 90 degrees. Typically, it's running around 100. And I actually bought this computer from Jay as well. This was his old laptop, and he never had issues with it. So, but I mean, I love this thing. It's freaking huge and it weighs a ton. But I mean, it's got a gorgeous screen on it. I mean, and the battery in this thing is ridiculously great. You know, this is one of those computers that, you know, you drop on your foot and you break your foot. So, and this was when I was playing with LCAP last night, because he told me I was running Mojave on it. And he's like, well, just run LCAP on it, it'll run cooler. So I figured I'd do that. And there it is. It's booting off the battery. There's no charger plugged in. So, you know, I mean, I've upgraded this thing to the hilt too. I mean, this has got the full 8 gigs of memory. It's got a SSD in it. You know, I mean, it's a great machine. These Core 2 Duo processors are just, they run so bloody hot. So, I mean, I have an IBM ThinkPad. You guys were probably, some of you guys might have been watching the IBM ThinkPad video I did a couple weeks ago. I have a ThinkPad with a Core 2 Duo in it, and that thing freaking runs hot as Hades. So, they can take the heat, but the problem is if they get too hot for too long, the processor starts throttling like you wouldn't believe. They don't mind. A Core 2 Duo actually doesn't mind running at 90 degrees. But once it hits 100, it automatically throttles back. It throttles the speed. And if you're running on batteries especially, it really kills performance. So, and I've taken this machine apart. I've repasted it. I've actually done video on it, doing maintenance to the 09 MacBook, and it didn't make any difference. I know Jay has done it because Jay had this computer for years. Jay did it several times, and so I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. So, but I mean, it does work. It works fine. Hi, Simon. I don't use mine on the battery very often either, but it's nice to know that the battery's still good and, you know, I can still use it. It does still have the original battery in it. It still has about 88% of its life left, too. Surprisingly, for being an 11-year-old computer. It's actually funny, both of the most powerful, two of the most powerful computers I own are both 2009s. The only Mac that I own that's newer is my I have a 2012 Mac Mini at work with a Core i5 in it, a 2.5 gigahertz Core i5, and that thing works pretty good actually. Yeah, that's the only Mac that I own that has a good battery. I don't have any other Macs that have a good battery. All of my other Macs are all old. I mean, from there, in terms of like Mac laptops, the next one we go to is this sucker. You know, and this thing is a tank. Good old Powerbook 3400. I featured this a couple of times on my channel. I'm probably going to be getting it out here again. I'd actually thought about even trying to use this for the Power PC challenge this year, because this computer actually this thing's a screamer. This has OS 8.6 on it, and it's got Ethernet and everything on it right here. So I can hook this up to the network, get it online, no issues. So, but I think this might be pushing it a little bit. So, yeah, it's funny. I bought this off of Jay too. I bought this off of Jay. I bought my MacBook Pro off of Jay. I bought my Mac Pro off of Jay. I bought a lot of stuff off of Jay. Jay and Steve are recipients of a lot of money. So, now I do have... I have a mouse, I have a keyboard on the floor now. I do have this. Okay. This is a 2008. Yeah, this is a 2008 MacBook Pro, 17-inch, and I always love the design of these machines. I especially love the way the keyboard lights up and everything on these. And this machine's in really good shape too. Unfortunately, the video chips out on the logic board, and the battery, just sitting here not being charged or anything, decided to explode, swell up and almost explode. So I have to get a battery for it, and I think I'm going to fix this one up and give this away for a 1,000 subscriber deal. So, yes, I know, Jay. I always forget to take the damn printer drivers out. Huh, well, that's going to need to be fixed. Oh, not too much, Trina. Just showing off some old stuff I have laying around the house. And now, as for other old, I do have two old Powerbooks. I have a 165 and a 170. The 165, ironically, I bought off of Jay. He found it at a recycling center, and the 170 I bought locally. However, they both have capacitor issues. They both work, and they both have good hard drives, amazingly. And they're both running their stock SCSI hard drives. But the screens, especially on the 165, the screen is just totally, practically unusable. So, the 170 actually isn't too bad, but they're both sitting in Steve's basement somewhere. God only knows where. But they're both sitting in Steve's basement for him to play with. I basically told him he could experiment on the 165 because the 165 is just a bone stock machine. But the 170 is a fully upgraded machine. Come on. Now we have Simon Cam. Yeah, I like saving Macs, but the problem is that people want ridiculous money for these computers around me. I'm great at rescuing computers and I'm great at rescuing cats. I have a soft spot for both. So, Jay, because I'm an idiot and I always forget about it. And I'm installing this off of the official DVD, not anything customized too. And I always forget to customize the install. I do this every time. Hi. Hi. What are you doing? Meow. Meow. What you doing, old man? What you doing, old man? Oh, got itchies. Yes, Trina, this is Simon. He's a handsome old man. He's cranky sometimes, but he's a handsome old man. He's a sweet old boy. He usually doesn't want anything else in life but to be on my lap. Yeah. Steve's still learning my cat's names. It's hard for me to remember cats' names sometimes. I have so many of the damn things. Ooh. I don't know if you guys can hear him purring, but he's purring up a storm. Say hi. You gonna say hi? I'm sitting here talking to a deaf cat like he actually understands me. Hey, congratulations, Jay. No, just a couple minutes now. Oh, Simon, I'm out of coffee. I need something to drink. Ugh. Sorry. What are you doing, Expo? Go. This is Lydia. She's a big black floofball, and she's kind of cranky sometimes. Mwah. But she's a daddy's girl. Aren't you? Aren't you? She's a diva. She's a very pretty girl, and she knows it. Aren't you? You're a little diva. Yes, you're a little diva. What? Just a soda. It's just a soda. It's not kitty treats, I promise. I'm going to go get you kitty treats later. Yes, I'll get you treats later. I promise. I promise. The patrons were good to Daddy this month. So Daddy can get you some kitty cat treats. This is the one nice thing I like about the newer versions of Mac OS is you don't have to install all, this stuff doesn't just automatically come with the copy of OS. You actually have to download and install all this extra stuff. I want to thank you all for sticking around for all this. I don't know whatever possessed me to try to install Tiger on a G3 iMac, but hey, what the hell? I'll try anything once. I'm curious what the box says. Says requirements: Macintosh computer with PowerPC G5, G4, or G3 processor, built-in FireWire, 256 megs of physical RAM, and DVD drive for installation. Okay. I love how it says on the side, "Don't steal software." Oh, here you go, Trina. You'd like this. It says software recorded in Canada. And this is a genuine box copy of Tiger. I also have Snow Leopard. Simon, you're asking for trouble. You're asking to get your ass beat. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thought I was going to have a cat fight on my lap here for a second. Because this one here is a bitch. It's 10.4.6 is what's going to actually install. So then I can go through and install it up to 10.411. And I was talking to Jay about this last night. One thing I love about Apple is this software has been obsolete since about 2007, I think. But you can still update this to its fullest version. Online, no questions asked, no issues. You can't update Windows XP, Windows 7, or anything online. You can't even activate them online anymore. It's like Microsoft has totally cut off everything for the older versions of Windows. It's one of those, well, we don't really care if you're running it or not. We're not going to update it. We're not going to do anything. So, which really pisses me off. Because I'm trying to set up a PC laptop to play some games on. And I want to run Windows 7 on it, but, you know, everything, once Windows 7 was Service Pack 1, well, you can't download Service Pack 1. You can't do any updates anymore. So, it's like... But I'm sitting here installing Tiger from 2004 onto a 2000 model year iMac, and as soon as I connect, as soon as it reboots and goes to the Finder, I can update it. So, and actually, I ran into the same problem yesterday when I was working with Snow Leopard. I installed Snow Leopard on my MacBook. I figured, well, I'll install Snow Leopard and I'll just go and throw LCAP on. Well, no, I had to update Snow Leopard to the latest version, because the version I have isn't the latest, and then install LCAP. It updated perfectly, no problem. So, now I'm kind of curious how long Apple's going to keep this up. You know, I mean, thankfully the updates for these these older operating systems are fairly easy to find online, and you can install them manually with no problem. It's just I just always thought that was kind of cool that we can still do that. Well, hey, as long as the plug's still there, we're going to still use it. There's still a lot of us in the vintage community who are running these old operating systems. You know? Yeah, that's about the most useless thing in the world. PowerPC Snow Leopard. I don't quite understand the point of bothering with PowerPC Snow Leopard. There's no software made that would take advantage of anything that Snow Leopard has to offer. I mean, it's great as a concept that hey, we can do that, but Now let's see how long it takes to boot. Well, we are running Tiger on probably the lowest possible computer that you could run it on. Now, the first boot always takes a while. And boy, is that hard drive just banging away. Well, I forgot how loud those quantum fireball drives are. Wow. She's just a plugging away. Oh, I'll have to remember that, Jay. I didn't know you could do that. Enjoy your Apple computer. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Oh, it actually doesn't seem just too horrible. Oh. So now we're running 10.4.6. We can pop this out. See if it actually ejects. Ah, you bitch. Got it. I got it. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. Alright, let's update. Alright, something froze up here. Finder. Oops. Well, it's installing. And I like how the combined install to go from 10.4.6 to 10.4.11 is only 186 megs. This thing's actually getting along pretty good for a 450 megahertz G3 with only 256 megs of RAM. I wonder how fast this thing would go if I actually had an SSD in it. Sorry, this is kind of boring. That's why I usually do this stuff offline. I don't usually stream this kind of stuff. But Trina wanted me to install OS 10.4, so this is Trina's fault. We're going to blame her. I'm probably going to finish this up, and then I'm probably going to stop the stream because I have to eat, and my cats are really kind of hounding me. They're hungry too, and I gotta go get some cat food. But this is the first time I ever ran this on a G3.
Oh. Almost done. We're getting there. Slowly. Oh, there we go. Holy Lord. Took a little while. Let's see how she does now.
So I found... Alrighty then. It's rebooting again. So I found some... I was looking at some memory here. Found two 512 meg sticks of memory. It looks like it's for a Yamaha sampler. But it says it's PC-133. So I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work. So I might add this to my wish list. And when I have a couple extra bucks, I might look into something like this. Unless anybody's got some memory laying around they want to donate to the shack. If you do, let me know. And we're booting up again. Hey, there we go. Making progress. It's definitely not the fastest booting thing in the world, I can tell you that, but... Whew. Once she gets booted up, it ain't too bad, though. I guess Remote Desktop doesn't like this old copy of Mac OS 10. I'm trying to... Yeah, Apple Remote Desktop doesn't like connecting to this machine. But here it is, in all its glory. Doesn't seem to be working half bad. I think I'm definitely going to get some more memory for it. So that's it. I'm going to shut this down and call it a day on this one. Might fart around with it a little later here. Does anybody have anything else, or? Is anybody even still here? I haven't heard a peep out of anybody for a while now. Alright, well, on that note then, I guess I'm just going to end the stream. I guess everybody walked away and left their streams running, so that's it. I'm going to call it a day. I got things to do. I'll probably play around with it a little later here. So I have the PPC App Store on my Mac Pro here. I'll copy it over later. So, but so I'm going to call it quits for the day. It's already dark out. It's 5 o'clock. I need to eat something. My cats need to eat something. So, I think I'm going to call it a day. Maybe if I get bored, I might do a little quick mini stream. Maybe try to install OS 9 on this thing. See how that goes. So, read my text. Jay, I'm in the middle of streaming. I don't have time to read my texts. Oh. So, so yep, that's where I'm going to sit for now. I got it all shut down, but at least it's working. Didn't have to worry about doing anything serious to it or get crazy. You know, start replacing parts or whatever, just the hard drive. So I gotta thank Steve for finding me an actual good machine. So on that night, I'm going to call it a day. So keep your eyes peeled. I don't know. I might get on a little later tonight. Let's see what everybody else is doing. So, you guys all have yourselves a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to Mike, Jay, Christian, Soulblatts, Sad Mac, and looks like that's the only people who are here right now. Of course, thanks to Trina and Sean that were here earlier, and anybody else who joined that may be here but not paying attention. So, that's going to be it for the night. Thanks for joining me, and we'll do this again sometime.